Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain For You, painforyou.com. Today's topic is going to be hope matters, right? So I'll get into it in a minute, but as we usually do, let's take a couple of nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Try to get yourself in a nice, relaxed state so you can listen, pay attention, hopefully get something out of this video. So breathe in the hope. Exhale the hopelessness. Breathe in the certainty. Exhale the doubt. Inhale the breath or the bravery. Exhale the fear. So hope matters. It matters a lot, right? So I was just having a conversation with somebody who I've become friends with, a gentleman over in Europe, Netherlands, and he's struggling. He's having a real tough time with symptoms and anxiety, and he's gotten to the point where he's feeling pretty hopeless. So we had a nice conversation today. And to you, sir, this video is for you, as well as everybody else who's watching. So as it relates to these TMS physical symptoms that we get as a result of this mind-body process called TMS that Dr. Sarno figured out in the 1970s, it's easy to get scared, it's easy to get frustrated, it's easy to lose hope, especially if you've been in pain or experiencing whatever symptoms you've got over a long period of time. How do I know? 13 years. So I get it. Plenty of times when I just kind of gave up hope and just decided to, oh well, this is the way I am. I'm going to live with my pain. Even though I knew about Sarno. Even though I had success with Sarno, but then the pain would come back. And then I'd have success, the pain would come back. Then it would stay. And then it would stay and get worse. And then sometimes with flare-ups, but usually the best I did in the second half of that 13 years was chronic, all the time pain, maybe a 3 or 4. That was when I was feeling pretty good, but it was always there. And so it's easy to become hopeless and despondent and kind of get the impression that this stuff doesn't work and screw it, right? And so hope matters. And one of the things I know is that if you feel hopeless, you're not going to put in the effort. You're not going to believe that it's got any chance of working. And unfortunately, with this whole ending TMS process, we're literally trying to sell or convince our brain that we're actually okay and that the pain is not necessary and it's okay to turn it off. That's why the various things that I teach all the time are effective in doing that. But honestly, if you don't have any hope that TMS applies to you, or any hope that you have what it takes to end the TMS and these various symptoms and pains, how well are you going to take upon the belief system and the trust in, digging into the processes that I recommend? How well are you going to be able to take on an attitude of indifference if you're hopeless that any of this stuff is going to work or benefit you in any way, shape, or form? So hope matters a lot. And what I will offer you is this. If you're struggling to find hope in your journey, borrow mine. Please borrow my confidence. Borrow my hope. I have hope for you and everybody watching. I wouldn't be doing these darn videos every single day for a year and a half. I think there's like 559 videos on YouTube, and there's probably an extra 30 or so that were on Facebook before I started uploading to YouTube. So a lot of videos every day. Wouldn't be doing it if I didn't have certainty and clarity that this stuff works. People ask me, oh, is it possible to get completely pain-free? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. going on almost 11 years pain-free after 13 years of being in pain, and I don't have a daily practice. I've just become the type of person who doesn't fear my body, doesn't fear TMS, doesn't fear my brain torturing me with any of this stuff if I get stressed out. I don't fear it. I have zero fear of the pain. And if I get a twinge, I know, check in emotionally, what's going on? Yeah, I'm all stressed out, connect the dots. I don't have to dwell on or ruminate on those emotions all day long. I just have to kind of check in and connect those dots. And then I go on my day and I give that little twinge zero attention. As I talked about in, what fuels chronic pain, it's fear and attention. So I give it no attention because I don't fear it. And if you can get to that point, you will end your symptoms too. And for those people who are questioning, well, Dan, how can I not fear the pain? I hate it. It's awful. It hurts so bad. How can I not fear it? Well, because if you've learned about TMS and you've gained the deep knowledge that Sarno really used to recommend, it's like, learn this, understand it. So much of what he did was all knowledge therapy. But once you understand it, you realize that your body's actually okay, right? And by accepting deeply that your body's okay, and you realize there's nothing to fear. There are sensations, but they're not dangerous. You're sore, but safe. And again, I'll give credit to Lorimer Moseley, a pain scientist down in Australia. Sore, but safe, right? So why be afraid of something that, yes, it's unpleasant, and we don't like it, and we don't want it to persist, but why be afraid of it if it's not damaging? Why be afraid of it if you know that it's being created in your brain as an overprotective mechanism to keep you safe from something the brain perceives as dangerous? Emotions, stress, social situations, movement, body positions, right? But if you know deeply, based on the knowledge part of this process, that it's just TMS, you can use your intelligent thinking brain, your conscious mind, to teach your subconscious mind that you're okay. And when you start to look at rationally and logically how all this stuff works, you then can start to see the potential for grabbing that fear knob and turning it down and taking the attention away from the symptoms and placing it back on whatever you want to do and living your life. What do you need to do? What do you want to do? Can you be productive? Can you do something useful instead of sit around and think about your horrible pains and symptoms and your awful life? Trust me, I did that for too many years. And it's not fun. And worrying about how bad your life's going to be if the pain doesn't leave doesn't help you live a good life now. So, hope is really important. There's a big difference between sadness and depression. My interpretation of depression is sadness, deep, deep, dark sadness, with no hope of it going away. And see, even in the realm of depression, if you realize that there's some hope, the depression just turns down a bit. And yes, you are sad. In many cases, there's lots of things in life that make us sad. And that's okay. That's what sadness is for, is to feel kind of crappy when something makes you sad. A pet passes away. A family member, a loved one passes away. Something really important doesn't work out the way you want. It's okay to be sad. We're allowed. That's why we have these tear ducts where liquid shoots out of our face. We're allowed to be sad. Where it turns into depression, in my opinion, again, no expert, not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but in my opinion, sadness turns to depression when we have no hope. So, I am not offering you here blind hope. I'm not offering you, drink the Kool-Aid and believe and everything will be okay. What I am offering you is hope to get better because This stuff is real. This stuff works. This stuff is proven. I hear it every day. People feeling better, both emotionally and thereby physically as well. And sometimes getting that little bit of hope, the confidence, the clarity is what it takes to teach your nervous system to calm the heck down so that it can start to loosen the grip on the symptoms. So, hope isn't just something you wake up with in the morning. It's something that you can create through research, knowledge. I don't mean researching pain or symptoms. I mean research TMS. If you read a TMS book 6 years ago and you haven't done any more knowledge, acquiring lately, dig out the book, read it again, right? Learn more. If you want a quick 20-minute overview, go to painfreeyou.com. There's a quick 20-minute intro video that kind of explains how this stuff happens and how pain becomes chronic. But when we start to realize what causes the pain, how it becomes chronic, we know that by doing the opposite of what made it chronic, which is fear, focus, and anxiety about the symptoms, we know that we can get out of this mess. So, again, borrow my hope, borrow my confidence, borrow my calm response, right? And I know I talk about indifference all the time, and I know a lot of you folks push back and say it's impossible to be indifferent, Dan. There's just no way in heck I'm going to be indifferent to this pain because it hurts so bad. And to that, my answer is always, I understand. And you're right. When the pain is kicking your butt, it's going to be really hard to be indifferent and literally, genuinely be indifferent to it. Like, I don't care. But you always have a choice as to how you respond. You can lay on the floor, lay in your bed, doubled over in pain, freaking the heck out, catastrophizing how bad your life sucks and how bad it's going to be because you're in pain and you don't have any hope of it ever going away. That's one choice. And the other choice is somewhere in between that and indifference. Obviously, if you can get to indifference and literally, genuinely, authentically not care if you hurt or not, that's the gold standard. But in between freak out and indifference, there's a whole bunch of degrees of separation. So choose a response. Choose to reassure yourself. Choose to remind yourself of the knowledge and the understanding of exactly what's going on, what TMS is, that it absolutely applies to you. Then you soothe yourself. You calm your thinking. You calm down your body, get out of the stress response, allow that adrenaline and cortisol to kind of, be metabolized in your body and not be raging through your bloodstream all the time. So that's what happens when you're in chronic stress and freak out mode and high anxiety mode. So choose to reassure yourself, calm down, calm your thinking, and then choose to be more towards indifferent than freak out. And look, maybe it'll take you a while to get to the point where you're indifferent. But as long as you're moving in that direction, you'll get there. So, I will tell you with extreme confidence, there is hope. Even for the most severe cases, there is hope, but it's not blind hope. It's based on accurate information about what these pain syndromes are, how they happen, how they become chronic, and now we know how to turn them off and make the chronic part go away, make the pain go away. Excuse me. So I hope this helps you. If you feel hopeless, please borrow some of mine. I have enough hope to go around. And again, wouldn't be doing this if I thought it was hopeless for you or anybody else. So, love you guys and gals. I will see you tomorrow.